Hey guys, I'm Luke, and today I'm trying to learn how to play rhythm changes from the song I Got Rhythm, and very common jazz song, and I've never really learned how to play it. I don't feel comfortable playing over it, so let's give it a shot. Alright, so first of all, I've got this app that lets me play all the changes. So I've got, let me hit play for you. It sounds like this. Alright, so I'm going to try that at fast tempo and we'll see what happens. Probably going to find out I need valve oil. We'll see. Bump that back up to 240. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to try to improvise over that. So, improvising, what do we do? Well, first of all, let me try the final goal here, just to get an idea of how bad I am at this. So first of all, I'm just going to play the chords, or I'm just going to play it like that, and I'm going to do my best to not murder your ears. We'll see what happens. Alright, so that's one chorus going through full speed, just really no practicing, no studying on this. And what I was doing was trying to essentially stay in that scale. And I'm just playing those notes and also kind of sticking to that melody. So I might play something like... Hopefully you can kind of hear, I'm just sticking with the melody and I'm sort of embellishing it. I also tried to throw a couple chromatic tones in there. More towards the bridge. And what I was trying to do with that is sort of guess to the chord changes. One of the things that good jazz players do is when you hear them improvise, you could take away the accompaniment and you could still be able to tell exactly what the chord progression is. They're playing melodically, but at the same time, they're outlining chord changes and really playing with the harmony at the same time as the melody. So as I'm studying, I'm going to be looking at outlining chord changes. It's going to be a big thing for me. I'm going to be looking at highlighting notes that don't fit in the key signature. So like, for example, and I'll just talk in trumpet keys. So C major, F major chord is fine, but if you go to a D major 7 chord, all of a sudden you got this F sharp, the third of the chord, and you really want to bring that out to make it stick out that, hey, this is a chord that doesn't fit in the key signature. So I'll be looking at all those harmonies and then playing around with melodic lines. So let's get to that. Alright, so I got that first part finished. My first step that I'm going to do is just take each scale, take each chord of the song and sort of write out the scale that goes along with it. So as you can see, everything here is mostly in the key of C. There's a couple of chords in here that I'm interested in trying. I like to play by ear and kind of listen to these chords as I go through. So for example, the first chord is a C6 chord, right? So that's pretty plain and simple, just a C major chord, C major scale. The next chord's an A minor 7th chord. So you wonder, okay, is that A minor Dorian? And does that mean, do I play an F sharp in there? Or is it the regular A minor, the natural minor, where I play an F natural? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through my recording. I'm going to slow it way down, like 4 times as slow as it should be. And when it gets to that A minor chord, I'm going to try putting in the F sharp. And I'm going to see, does that sound good or does that sound bad, right? And then we can take that idea and we can choose whether or not we want to, how we want to treat this minor chord. And then in the third measure, you've got this E minor 7 chord. And again, there's an F sharp in there, there's a possible C sharp in there if we're going to treat it like a Dorian, or do we just treat it like some kind of Phrygian, you know, E minor Phrygian, because it's built on the third root, the third note of the scale. Do we just play it in the same key and build it off of, build it off of E? I don't know. We'll kind of see as we play through. And then the last chord, the last one in here, of course, there's a C7 chord. So there's our first time where we have that altered note that I would say is definitely, we definitely want to pick out that B flat and make sure we play through that, let people know that, yeah, hey, we're changing here. We're going to the fourth, right? We're going to the F chord. And then as soon as we hit that F chord, then it's an F7. So then we really want to play the E flat. And then we get to this crazy one, the F sharp fully diminished 7th chord. And what I did is I wrote in a half whole scale. That, half whole would be a half step and a whole step till you get back up to the octave. So it'd be like. So I'm just getting that F sharp fully diminished scale in my head. Okay, so we'll play through here with real slow tempo, and we'll see kind of how those things feel. Oh, let's bump it down to like real slow jazz ballad, 60 beats per minute. Okay, some of this is going to be boring here. Okay, let's try that again here. So as I'm playing through that, I feel like the F sharp in the A minor chord probably is going to be an F natural. And I can tell because of that D minor 7 chord right after it. It feels really weird to play like... I don't know, maybe. It seems like something maybe you could play around with. And then that E minor chord, definitely, again, the same idea here. I think the F sharp does fit in that one pretty well. Followed by the A minor 7 chord. Oh, there's that F sharp again. So, yeah, I'd probably leave out the C sharp. Yeah. And then we have that C7 chord and the F7 chord. But by the time I want to go up to that E flat, it's already on the F sharp half diminished chord, right? That's already F sharp. So what are we going to do there? I don't know, just a couple things to kind of think about and play around with. All right, we'll give it another shot here. right. Now I'm playing all kinds of fast notes here because it lets me get more sounds in, and it lets me kind of think, well, what sounds good, what doesn't sound good. Just as a reminder of how fast this is going to be going here. Let's play it at full tempo. Bum, 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 bum. If I can play quarter notes even, that would make me happy, right? Eighth notes, you know, and throw. So I think what my goal is let's play it at that slow speed again. Stick to quarter notes for the most part, with a couple eighth notes thrown in there. Yeah, we'll try that one more time here. Nice and slow. The great thing about doing it this slow is that it gives me time to think about, like, hey, gives me time to like sort of formulate a hypothesis. Hey, if I play the flat 7 here and make it sort of jump down and resolve, you know, I can think at that speed, and I can approach this from a sort of a right brain perspective, an analytical perspective, where I'm looking at the notes and I'm thinking, okay, how do these notes fit into the chord structure when I'm playing at a slow speed? I can make a prediction, I should say. I could hypothesize about what it'll sound like, and then as that note comes along and I play it, then I can go, ooh, that sounded good, or I can go, oh, that did not sound good. Right? So I really love this, being able to slow things down to this speed where I can think about what I'm doing before I do it. And then as I'm doing it, I can listen to it and evaluate, right? Quarter notes and eighth notes is the goal here. Come on. Here we go. Just nice and slow. Sure. You heard that F sharp in there, sounds really good that way. That did not sound good, right? Whatever I did there. Okay. So anyway, so we take that idea and then we just keep working on that, eventually bumping up the tempo. And this, again, this app has something really nice where I can play that and sort of increase the speed each time I go through it. It automatically bumps up the speed by 4 beats a minute, or you can set however many beats per minute you want it to go through. So that's what I'll do for a little while. Probably turn the camera off while I'm working on that, and just gonna play that just the A section of the song here. Probably get through it about 20 times. Give me a lot more experience of hearing the sounds that I want to hear. And now also, as I'm going faster, starting to be less analytical and starting to be more musical with this. All right, so I'll probably jump back in after I've gone through this procedure, and I'll let you know how I'm going. All right, so I'm about halfway through here. I'm up to 130 beats a minute, and just kind of going through some of the things that I did decide. Yeah, there's one thing I'm noticing is arpeggiating downwards sounds really good. So I've been working on adding some more of that into there. Those F sharps in there sound pretty good. Maybe I'll just play a chorus for you real quick at this, just the A section, 8 bars here at 130. right, so the other thing that I'm starting to do is sort of switch over from that right brain side of analyzing and looking at, you know, obviously you heard a lot of things in there where I tried to do something and it sort of happened a measure late. Like if I could be a measure ahead and be playing that, it probably would have lined up well. Anyway, what I'm saying is still thinking on the right brain side of things where I'm trying to think of notes and how they line up in the chord. And now I'm starting to lean more towards does it sound good? Does it sound musical? Is it something that someone wants to listen to? Is it expressive? You know, is it fun? So I'm starting to look more into that. And the reason why I stopped practicing to record this is one thing that I'm starting to think about is, hey, if I am starting to go over towards that left side of the brain where I'm more musical, I really need to take this sheet that I've been working on and I need to, I think, memorize that. Definitely memorizing the order of the chords that they come in. Good thing to do that. Then maybe start doing some drills on this where, you know, arpeggiating, like I said, arpeggiating up. Right, so arpeggiating up the scale, and then also maybe different drills like that. So now arpeggiating down. You know, or whatever. So maybe even throwing in a couple of patterns here and there. Different things, even as something as simple as just hold the thirds throughout, hold the root throughout, hold the sevenths throughout. So I'm going to stop recording again here, and I'm going to practice those two things. Still, I'm trying to get that speed up. I'm at 130 right now. I want to keep practicing until I get closer to 240, which is my goal tempo. And I'm also going to stop before I increase my speed at all. I'm going to go through at this same speed, 10 times probably, and focus on still being very analytical, memorizing thirds, sevenths, memorizing arpeggios up, down, memorizing patterns, memorizing the harmonic rhythm, right? How fast the chords change and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's what I'll be working on, and I'll probably stop again once I get up to the 240 mark. We'll see what happens. All right, just wanted to stop for a second while I was practicing this memorization stuff, drills over the chords, So basically what I did was I started off with doing chord tones, right? Really slow. Actually just starting off with the roots itself, because again, I'm working on memorizing this too. But I just wanted to show something that I found to be pretty helpful. Extra. So I'm just picking out chord tones and I'm trying to keep this rhythm. Da 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 da. Not what I was trying to do. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that was one of the things that I'm doing is playing around with these chord tones like this and really trying. The second time was awful because I really missed a lot of notes. So, all right, I'm back and I got up to 240. It wasn't pretty. I felt like I hit a wall kind of around 188. And what I mean by that is all of a sudden I was falling behind everything, and I would be looking at my music, and sometimes I'd be looking 2 measures behind where we were actually at in the music. So right around there, something is happening where my brain isn't trained to think fast enough to do those chords. So there's a couple tricks that I'm going to use. First of all, going to a piano and playing these is going to help a lot. Playing them in trumpet pitch. So I'm not going to play B flat, G minor, right? I'm going to play C, A minor, because what I'm doing is I'm looking at these notes on the piano and I'm getting an idea of how do the notes vertically, harmonically relate to the chords coming before and coming after it. Another trick that I was using that was helping me a little bit is to, when I start feeling like I'm getting a measure behind, to be always looking at a chord ahead. So I'm not even looking at C6, which is obviously the starting chord. I'm looking at A minor 7, and by the time I start playing, I'm already looking ahead to D minor 7, G7, right? Right now, I'm trying to stay away from what I would call like, I guess maybe melodic playing, or just kind of playing within the key signature. Not really working on chords and harmonies, but just kind of playing something that sounds melodic. I'm trying to avoid doing that right now because that's easy, right? In fact, I could play it at 188, or 288 and make a nice, not a nice melody, but make a decent melody just by holding notes longer and playing notes that fit with a lot of these chords. So anyway, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying to play the harmonic changes. So here I go. I'll just play a couple of courses at 188, and we can kind of see where I'm at on this right now. So just kind of talk through a couple of things that are going through my head. If you're watching me, you can see, obviously, I realize when I'm missing notes. I realize when I'm getting things wrong. And so some of the things that are going through my head. A lot of times I'm still, when I'm looking at that A minor 7 chord, the D minor 7's already happening. I'm trying, usually whenever I feel like, oh, here's a note that I think is going to fit well, and so I try to play it. It would have fit well had I thought that 2 beats ago and played it in the chord that came beforehand. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and slow this down a little bit more as I feel more comfortable with it. You heard a couple of good things in there. Some of them sounded all right. A lot of them sounded pretty rough though. So I am going to go ahead and slow down, maybe even go back to what I was doing earlier, just drills and stuff, get those fundamentals before I try to push this tempo anymore. So that's where I'm at today after about 30 minutes, 45 minutes of practicing on I Got Rhythm. All right, I've got one more little trick here that's been helping me, and that is to, let's say my goal is to be able to play at 190. Let's take it at 196. So let me set it here to 196 really quick, just so you can kind of hear what it sounds like when I try to play that way. Okay, 192, that's close enough. So you got that 192. So it's still very disjunct, right? But what I'm going to do is divide it by 2, right? So now I'm going to take it down to 95 beats a minute. And perfect. And what this will do is I'm still going to play the same speed, right? I'm still going to play but now the chords are moving half as slow. So I'm playing double time on everything. got that feeling, this double time feeling going on. So now we're going to take it back to 190, where we were at. Put the same thing back in. On the bridge so much yet. But there you go, that's really helpful. I'm going to keep working on that. So next up, set it at 200 and then back it down to 100 and play double time. Alright, this will be the last part here. So I'm pretty close to my goal. This is at 230 now. So again, I'll start it at 230, then I'll do the half, and then we'll go back and we'll try it one more time. So that's the 120, or I'm sorry, that's 230 beats a minute. So we back it down to half of that, 115. Same double time feel. Oh boy. Okay. So it gives me that chance to sort of practice the chords a little bit longer with each one, and then we bump it back up to 230. And again, this is just for the sake of making this video. I'm probably going to go back and practice this over and over and over at slower tempos, right? Because it doesn't sound very good. So keep working on it here. So, you know, just a little bit of improvement from just starting today on working on this piece. And got to go through that bridge, really work on the bridge, and also, again, slow it down, work on it so that it sounds good at a good speed, and then try to bump it up. There's no purpose in me trying to go to 240 because 230 doesn't sound good, right? So anyway, hopefully that gives you a couple ideas of what you can do to work on improvising and maybe learning a new piece, just the steps that you can take, working on your melody, getting the chords written out and all the theory stuff. So you use your right brain first, analyze, practice the drills that go along with each chord, use this tempo tool to practice slow, and then gradually working faster so that you're not thinking so much about chords, but you're mostly just sort of memorizing it and playing what you hear, because that's ultimately what the goal is. But in order to be able to play what you hear, you really need to have be able to have those foundational skills of scales, arpeggios, and everything that you have to work on at a slower tempo first. So anyway, that's enough talking. Grab your horn, go practice.